At the hospital, it was a day like any other day. We get in at 8:30, and we would check out around 4:30. As I was checking out, ready to go home, and I literally had the time card right above the time clock, ready to just push it in, and that call came over the overhead, and the code told us we needed to sit tight. And so I went through a program called Clinical Pastoral Education, CP, at Erlanger Hospital, 2016, August to 2017. And in that program, it's divided up into two major sections. One section is actually being a clinical chaplain on the floor. And you serve the whole hospital, and you do a lot of on-calls, 24-hour shifts, and you're there ministering to folks in crisis. I shared just a little bit about my depressive past with the program director, and I was ashamed. But one of the things about clinical pastoral education is that you're gonna have some issues to work through, else you don't go to the program. They know there's some things that you're gonna work through, and then you're gonna use those as a resource for ministry. Well, I didn't really buy into the fact that I could ever use the pain that I've been through. You see, I lost a brother to suicide, 2010. Only brother, he's 4 years older than me, so growing up as two Irish boys in New York, we did everything together. And so when I lost him, to say it was devastating is just not even close to talk about the pain. And so that process of going through that was so painful, and to see that depression even within my family, so much so that my brother took his life. They were so debilitating and so difficult that it almost pretty much shut me down. I couldn't really function like I should be able to function. 2 times I had to step out of work and take a sabbatical, and they were ministry spots and ministry positions. So that was really, really devastating, really hard. And then something happened at the hospital. Nobody saw it coming. Just about to clock out, 4 o'clock. And we got this code that says, nobody leave, all hands on deck, clarify what's happening before you go home. And sure enough, it was a bus crash, 2016, where several beautiful lives of our beautiful Chattanooga kids were killed. And Erlanger was the place that the folks came. And so I said, Pastor Caffrey, would you escort this wonderful lady to the back of the emergency room? And as I escorted her and a couple of her family members back, we all knew, unfortunately, before we got there, that she was one of those parents of those 6 kids. So as we walked back to that room, and she was afraid that she was unfortunately going to find her lifeless daughter, she began to break down on the way. As we got to that door and she turned her head and she looked and saw her lifeless, beautiful, bronze-skinned baby girl, 10 years old, who just left for school like she does every day. And this day, she wouldn't come home. And so I was the chaplain on that call. And as she collapsed, as a chaplain, you learn there's no platitudes, nothing to placate the soul, nothing that can be said, no magic, where you just hang in and you just be present. And you pray that somehow you can foster and represent the presence of Jesus in this horrific moment. And I remember the strength that just welled up in me. The Spirit of the Lord spoke to my heart and said, Carl, you've been through some things. And what you've been through is not a disqualification of ministry. What you've been through has empowered you to be in moments like this and not want to bail. You're strong, and I have turned your pain into a resource for ministry. So all that humiliation, all that sense of failure, yes, I would never repeat, if I could ever help it, any of the pain that I went through or my beautiful children or my wife had to go through because I went through it. I would never want to ever have to hold a niece like I held my niece when she lost her dad that night. But I'm so grateful that God has given me the strength and the heart to want to be there for folks. You know, when you cut yourself and you got to address that need and take care of it, but it's amazing how God has created the body for that cut to heal. You may have a scar. but it no longer draws blood. It no longer causes pain, because the body has a unique power to heal itself. The body of Christ is called to come together and to hear each other's story. And God says that we can not only be forgiven, but we can also find healing. But I know that's part of my not only recovery, but of my being whole and being well. And I can say it as well with my soul.
If this story inspired you, take the steps to change your life. The first step is always to say, Jesus, help me. Come On, Let's Go distributes hundreds of similar stories of lives changed by Jesus Christ. If you want to be part of this vision, go.